live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Yes, we're back. Like crack. And so is Tiffany Henyard. The crazy spending from luxury travels to misuse of public money. Her critics are getting even louder. And now, last weekend, she organized a picnic. And also that has turned into controversy. RJ.
I find it weird that she organized a picnic and not a cookout. In any case, guys, thank you for tuning in. Wherever you are, we really appreciate you being here. Tiffany Henyard has been a topic of discussion in our shows, but also in the news, national news. Everything that she did is slowly but surely coming to light, and she's a positive thinker, KaiR. And her philosophy is, you know what? If you don't think about it, it's not there. She's like an ostrich. But hey, guys, wherever you are, thanks for tuning in. As I said, remember to rate the show by pressing the like button. Follow us on our other socials. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification icon as well, so you stay up to date when we drop new content.
Yes,
KaiR,
sir. Yes, sir.
what can you tell me now? What did she do now?
What did she do now? So the party goes on. Or is it damage control? Who knows? Tiffany organized a what she calls Friends of Tiffany Henyard picnic. I'll let other people break it down. So fair use. Let's see what they have to say.
Hey guys, hey! It's your super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor.
The super mayor took to social media to promote her party. There was a bounce house, skating, and a food giveaway.
But I spend my own money to make sure that I put on for my city. I'm always put my money where my mouth is.
Henyard said she paid after trustees refused. They're trying to control her spending and were skittish because the event was advertised as the Friends of Tiffany Henyard Picnic. That's also the name of her campaign fund. Her lawyer denies it was a political event, but it's clear the bash was meant to bolster Henyard's image as she faces a federal investigation into her spending in Dalton, where she's the mayor, and Thornton Township, where she's the supervisor.
And for those that don't know, let me make sure I'm crystal clear about this. I ain't never took a damn thing in my life. So I want to make sure y'all hear it out of my mouth.
Let's start with the party's location. It was held at a skating rink Henyard commissioned in Dalton with an initial estimated cost of $269,000. WGN Investigates had to sue Dalton to get Henyard's administration to release credit card records, and we noticed a $17,000 charge to a roller skate wholesaler.
I'm thinking that's for the roller skates that the residents never got a chance to use.
Dalton trustee Tammy Brown says Henyard's rink doesn't keep regular hours. Skycam 9 flew over on a beautiful Friday evening, and no one was there.
It's only open when she's there or she's having an event.
At Tuesday night's meeting, trustee Andrew Holmes resurfaced. The Henyard ally is under investigation after a village employee accused him of sexual assault on a taxpayer-funded trip to Las Vegas. He denies wrongdoing and defends Henyard's leadership.
If it's anything that was criminally done, it would be out there. So children are having fun, the families are having fun, and things are getting done.
This was in the box. We got greens. We got greens, beans, potatoes, you name it. Look at that.
Henyard frequently promotes the township.
Bruh.
They got everything. They got greens, potatoes, you name it.
Tomatoes.
Hey, man. You want to say something?
No, I said tomatoes.
Tomatoes, yeah.
Groundhog, whatever. You name it. So
Yeah.
she's trying to outmarket her fraud, right? So she wants to outmarket the bad publication, the bad rap she's getting in media. Now, will it help? Yes or no? It can help maybe with the general public. It won't help you in court. And one thing I don't understand. Super Mayor Karen Super
Yo, wait a
Mayor.
second. Where were you going with that one?
I don't know.
Super Mayor Karen Stephens. Yo, I don't know
That's
what
another
mayor.
super, I guess.
Yeah, that's another super. Yeah, but not a mayor. Where are you going? Yeah, continue.
Well, they're both
No,
head
no,
of their jurisdiction. So
the leading. Anyway, continue.
yeah, so super mayor Tiffany Henyard.
How did you get yourself caught up in that situation?
I looked it up. I had to look up her name. I just remember. But the thing is, Kara, every time she says super mayor, I think of
You,
that. So
you hear Superhead. Let's get straight to it. Karen Stephens, aka Superhead.
yeah, so that's the reason why. But I guess I just misspoke.
Yeah.
Apologies, Mrs. Mayor. But yeah, it's she continuously goes on these types of campaigns to improve her reputation. But this is not a reputation problem that she has. She has a criminal problem because if she's accused of fraudulent acts, it can be criminally punished, or it might become a civil lawsuit against her. So it's not like the presidential race that's going on, where people are saying no, vote this one is better, that one is better, but this person is actually being investigated by the FBI. And so the cookout, the picnics, it's not gonna help. It's not gonna
Yeah,
help.
that's gonna be
She's only
very
and
interesting.
there's already a deficit, KR. So she's only making the problem much worse than it already is.
We found another way to get around that. So to give you some background, I'm gonna go to the background first, and then go to the part who was doing the funding and where the money probably came from. Tiffany Henyard, for those who don't know, is also, as RJ already said, the super mayor. Is also the supervisor is the mayor of of Dalton, Illinois, and also the supervisor of Thornton Township. And she threw this public event branded as this Friends of Tiffany Henyard picnic. The picnic had food giveaways. The people were able to skate at the skating rink. And one of the things that raised flags, because of course, like the video already said at the beginning, the Dalton trustees were able to block the spending she had. So she cannot spend money from the budget of Dalton. According to the sources, these articles, and I'm gonna link them in the description. Her picnic, she said she paid it for herself. Well, in the video, she says she paid it for herself. According to the articles that I've read so far, she also funded it. Well, the food boxes were funded by Thornton Township. So it wasn't the city of Dalton that paid for it, but it was Thornton Township that paid for the food. Even though she claimed she personally funded some of the event's food. The question is how much money, public money, was involved again in this, let's call it campaign. Can't call it anything else. Is it actually illegal to do what she did? Using the money from Thornton Township to fund this picnic. Because, I mean, we talked about this last week. Last week and the week before that. And there was a Dalton, Illinois citizen who's living there in that city, in the town, and he or she said that Tiffany is still organizing all these events that bring, let's say, the elderly people, and they like her because she's giving back to the community. So she's basically trying to buy votes by organizing these events, giveaways. RJ.
Yeah. And you know why it's a smart strategy? Aside from being illegal, but elder people always say that they feel forgotten in different aspects, right? When they're older, they're slower, they need more help. So they feel like they're forgotten. Additionally, I don't know if this is by chance, if this is the reason, yes or no, but not all elders go out and vote. Maybe because they are living in, maybe because they can move as well as they used to, maybe because they're laying in bed almost the whole day, and so on and so forth. So it's, to them, I can imagine it's like, wow, at least she is looking out for us. You remember in there was the meeting, I guess it was a town hall meeting where she was, where a lot of people stood up and walked out.
Yeah, it was last
And at
week.
the end of the meeting, who defended Tiffany Henyard? An older woman.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
She's trying to do the good thing, and they're trying to block her, but she really cares for the old people. And so I can imagine that this resonates with them. So it's a good strategy. And it would be a better strategy if you were using your own money, not the people's money. Which brings me to the question, how was she placed there in the first place? Did she switch up from one day to the other? Or, as you always say in relationships, KR, the signs were there, but you chose to ignore it.
Sometimes people choose to ignore things. That's clearly where we see, even with this current election. I mean, there are red flags on both sides, but some people on purpose decide to ignore certain red flags in order to, let's say, feel good about themselves, feel good about their votes. So that's something that you have to always keep in mind with these situations. And to answer your questions, your question relating to how it got this far, that's a good question. One of the one of the critics of her, Dalton trustee Tammy Brown, pointed out that these boxes may have violated guidelines from the Greater Chicago Food Depository, with explicitly warned against using donated food for political purposes.
So this is part of her MO, it seems.
Yeah, you gotta ask yourself. I mean, this is donated food that she's handing out for political. I mean, it seems clearly. I mean, she's gonna say it's not for political purposes. I'm giving back to the community. But yeah, it's obvious that there is something wrong. There's something that doesn't add up at this whole thing. With this whole thing, I mean, if you honestly, it feels like this picnic is again a small piece to the larger puzzle. The pattern of her movements, how she acts, continues to be the same. Like you said, she's like an ostrich. It doesn't bother her, these critics, the FBI probe, all this bad publicity. She tries to PR her way out of this situation. That's quite, I have to say, it's quite delusional, but it sometimes delusion is the only way to get out of a effed up situation. Roger.
Well, the great thing about delusion is that oftentimes it's just you, yourself, and you. And so you can think whatever you think. You can create your own reality where you're the super mayor and everyone else is basically trying, they hating.
And a black woman.
They're hating on a black woman. Almost all of the people on the trustee, if not all.
No, they're all haters. That's what she said.
Yeah, but almost all are black as well. But still, they're and men and women and women, but they hating on a black woman. Y'all shall be ashamed of yourselves, is what she said.
How do they say? They call it internal racism, something like that. Internalized racism.
I think what you said at the beginning was what they call it, delusional. So you don't need to look for new words or complex terminologies. No, it's just delusional.
Yeah.
She's gonna kid what's coming. Yeah. So I think the people of Dalton just need to wait for a minute. It's gonna take some time. They need to have some
And
patience.
vote. They have to vote, correct?
Go out and vote. Go out and vote.
Man, it would be crazy if she gets elected yet again.
Yeah.
Good for well, it's good for our content, but it's very bad for the people of Dalton. So I hope for them that they vote correctly and she's gone, and then we can always find new topics to talk about. But it's sad to see someone like this go how she goes about your money, because at the end it's your taxes that add to this.
Exactly. Yeah.
Man, it's despicable. But hey, guys, we want to know what you think. Is it just a political smear campaign against Tiffany Henyard, the super mayor? Or is there real substance to these accusations? Do you think that public money should be used for events like this? Let us know in the comments. Do you think she'll do football numbers when FBI comes knocking on the door? Or do you think she'll get a minimum amount of time, a couple of months, or no months at all? Who knows? Hey, let us know in the comments what you think about this whole situations, and maybe we'll highlight your comment in our next video. Archie.
Yeah, we'll be highlighting some of the best comments in our next video, as we're getting a lot of comments, and except for the bots and the haters, we're also getting some great comments, insights that we don't usually see on other channels, right? So when you go on other channels, oftentimes they either only bash, or they just talk about ignorant things. But it's great to see that we have like great, I'd say what we're looking for on this channel, like free thinkers, people who are open as well to hearing new or different way of thinking. So we will be highlighting some of the best comments in our next video. So don't forget to give us your hot take. Don't forget as well to like the video, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you stay up to date when we drop new videos, new stories in which we discuss trending topics and try to explore uncommon lessons from commonplace situations. As usual, we want to thank you for watching, and let's keep the conversation going. And with that being said, we can move to the next segment.
Next segment of the day is, as usual, the Reddit story. We'll be gonna dive into a commonplace situation that RJ found on Reddit. Today, we're gonna talk about something quite interesting. Now, I'm curious what it's gonna be about because I never know beforehand what the idea will be. So, RJ, you have the floor. Let us know what is the situation we'll dive into.
All right. Thanks for that, KR. In this edition of the Reddit segment, we're going to talk about a crazy ex who wants a woman back. So the story goes as follows. So the title is My Ex Fiance. So they were pretty serious, almost getting ready to get married. Accused me of cheating, almost cost me my job, and now wants to apologize after 8
Yeah.
months.
I'm gonna leave.
The woman who's writing this is 28 years of age, and the ex-fiance is 33. So he's 5 years older. And the story goes as follows. 8 months ago, my fiance, let me put it here. 8 months ago, my fiance, now ex, and I were planning our wedding. Everything was fine until he suddenly accused me of cheating. He didn't have any proof and never even mentioned who he thought I was cheating with. But he was convinced I was being unfaithful. It was all just talk, but he was dead serious. No matter what I said, he wouldn't believe me. We broke off our engagement, but it didn't end there. A few days after we broke up, he showed up at my work and caused a huge scene. He yelled at me in front of 4 of my coworkers. Said, do you think one of the coworkers were the guy? Anyway, said awful things and even grabbed me.
Oh man.
Security had to get involved and physically remove him from the building, which resulted in me being transferred to another branch 2 hours away from where I used to live.
2 hours. My God.
After that, he started spreading lies to our mutual friends and even to some of my extended family members. It was one of the worst times in my life, and I've spent the last 8 months trying to move on and heal from all the damage he caused. But now, 2 days ago, he showed up outside my work and asked to talk. Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know his name. That wasn't what he said. But she refused, KR. Can you believe it? She refused.
No, I can't believe it. I can't.
But when I refused, he said he just wants to apologize and that he'll give me a few days to think about it before he tries again. That's
What?
the Aaliyah song right there. Try again, try again.
Hey, you know what song also rhymes with try again?
What?
Lock him up. Lock him up.
It only works if you're mumble rapping, man. But okay. My sister thinks I should at least hear him out.
What?
Yeah.
Lock her up. Lock her up.
Sometimes your family ain't sometimes your family don't want the best for you. But okay. She says maybe he really regrets what he did. I don't know if I could ever forgive him, but it's worth listening to his apology.
Come on.
I'm still hurt and angry when I think about everything he put me through. But I'm concerned that if I don't hear him out, he won't stop trying to contact me or showing up at my work. I think that's called stalking.
You know what's that's being called?
What?
I have a perfect solution for that. It's called a restraining order.
Exactly. So it's a criminal act, right? But okay. I don't even know how he found out where I got transferred, but I guess it's not that hard to figure out.
Yo, this man is he's a
Thanks
danger.
in advance for any advice. FYI, he did other things besides spreading lies and almost costing me my job, but I try to keep the post as short as possible so you understand the situation easily. So, KR, should she talk to the dude?
I know who she should talk to. To the cops. She shouldn't talk to him. She should talk to the cops. This man is bonkers. And you're out here giving him another chance. Man, I don't know how many serenades he has to put together, but to wipe out the craziness, because ain't no way you should. People who are unstable should stay away from. But sometimes, RJ, you know what it is? And this is the thing right here. You said it also on Monday's show. What is it? We think we're logical, we are emotional
We think
humans that
people like to think that they're logical beings with emotions, but we're actually emotional beings that can think. So we're emotional
or
first, and you can
also
only
know,
become free from you. You can only get freedom from your emotions. Well, two ways. The first way to get free, to liberate yourself from your emotions, is by mentally uh, improving yourself, right? The other way is reparations. So I think, seeing as how all the reparation money is going to the
it
illegals,
won't.
yo, oh man, let me just finish it. Seeing as how all the money is going to the illegals,
Thank God I have my glasses and my hat on, because they won't recognize me after this one. Now, all jokes aside, right? Well, where was I going back? Oh yeah, you said emotional beings that think logical, but we are. That's what we are actually.
yeah, we think we're logical beings
That are
with
emotional.
emotions. So logical beings that have emotions, but we're
Yeah,
actually emotional beings that can think.
yeah. Or you can also say we're just dumb. But
We, I
we,
was
yeah,
speak
who's we?
French.
Well, that's not we, but I mean those two. With we, I mean those two in that relationship. Well,
Okay.
first of all, I don't understand this. To be honest, the guy is crazy, but sometimes people like crazy guys. I know females that like this kind of tension. It's not healthy, and I think her sister is one of those people. But it's not healthy. You go back to the guy, and he'll do the same, and then you try to down him because he's an a-hole and all that stuff. I mean, one thing for sure, I think he's sparking emotions into her, and that's the thing with females. If you spark that emotion, they might get the rush, and that rush is maybe the thing that makes her ask this question, because there is no other way to explain the question you're asking for a guy that's been stalking you and made sure you had to be moved to another branch 2 hours away. That's crazy. If a female did the same to me, I would call the cops. I would ask the cops to lock her up nicely. Lock this nice lady up. Otherwise, I might have to defend myself. I'm not gonna incriminate myself by saying anything else. But by saying that, I just incriminated myself 100%. RJ.
I think that calling the police is important, but there's another thing that's also important. We need to keep in mind that we're dealing with crazy people. Some people will say, as you said, call the police. Other people will say, catch me outside.
They
But
catch you like a starfish on the ground.
so I think what we're doing. So I think, yeah, it's sometimes you know the answer, you know what's good for you, but you still ask. You know,
Yeah,
someone
maybe.
told me something once, and it really made sense. And that's when you break up. The moment you break up, that's a clean breakup. You should leave everything there. If, for example, you break up through a fight, which can happen,
Mm-hmm.
you can still meet up to formalize the breakup. You know, like for example, but after that, talk what you need to talk, move on. Oftentimes we want to hear, what the other person has to say, but maybe that will only confuse matters more. And so I think she's been healing for 8 months. She knows she didn't cheat, according to her. And so why would you? He didn't have any evidence of you cheating, nor did he have a suspicion, like a particular person, right? I personally think that 8 months ago, dude lost his job and couldn't afford the wedding. And so he fabricated a drama in order to get out of it, not realizing that he perhaps went too far. And if that was the case, then he's immature. You shouldn't be with him. You shouldn't talk to him. And if that wasn't the case, you shouldn't talk to him either. Like, what are we talking about? You have no evidence, and you come and not only that, you come to my job.
You know what's
I mean,
that's
when people show you who they are, you need to believe them, KR. That's what you
oh
always
yeah,
say.
that's something I
Shout out to
always
John
say.
Morant. So,
The Blicky swinger. The
so if
Blicky
dude,
swinger.
so if dude found you at your new job,
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
maybe he's a stalker. Maybe you should just stay away.
One thing you went a direction I didn't think about. What happened 8 months earlier? I believe he was the one who cheated. People tend to project everything what they do onto you. It's something that keeps happening. Usually it's there in front of you. You can see it, but the signs are there, but you don't interpret it right. I think on Monday we talked about a similar story where a female got cheated on by her then. I think they were together quite. It was quite a young marriage still. Maybe that's this here also the case. The man cheated on her, and then he started projecting. The cheating stuff, sometimes it's jealousy, but a lot of times it's also projecting, man. Whatever the case is, I would say stay away from him, bro. Stay away if you. So I'm gonna go more. I made a couple of jokes, but I'm gonna go a bit more serious about this. There have been in the last 2 months, two girls getting popped at college in the college dorms. One of them was
Where did it happen?
last 2 months.
Where?
America. I don't know the exact city. There are two
Oh,
different.
I thought you mentioned a place.
No.
Okay, now continue.
Dorm in a college dorm.
Okay, dorm. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. One of them was a female. I think it was in. Oh, I think about it. It was in Houston. I think one of them was a Latina in Houston. She got popped. It was a it is a popping and a self deletion. They still at this time I don't know if they released the guy's name, but in the early stages they didn't. But they say that they could be have had a relationship with each other. So you have to be very careful with these people because sometimes it turns out they are crazier than you think. They might turn into someone you don't know yet. The other situation was another guy who was at the same school and the same university, I think, and that also was a kerfuffle. That was a crazy situation. But yeah, you have to be very careful because if you underestimate the situation, you might be the one who's under the ground doing a dirt nap and not him. Or
Yeah.
maybe you'll do it together if in the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
People
All
are
right.
crazy.
All right. Thanks for that. Let me just read the top comment. Helen Destroy says he was harassing you then and he's still harassing you. I think it would be a bad idea to let him anywhere near you and you might need to get the law involved, to be honest. What's
Or the ex,
username
right?
80 says this. OP, don't downplay what he has done to you. He got physical. Yeah, because he did get physical, right? He held her in front of people. He got physical and caused you to change locations. Then he keeps ruining your reputation. And Dave T says if he really wants to apologize, he can put it in writing. That's a very, 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 very good one, actually. Write it out.
Wait,
So I
wait,
can.
does he want to meet her to talk about it?
Yeah, he wants me to talk to her. Yeah, that's what he
Oh,
wants. So that's the question, right? So
don't do that.
I think she has a mole in her life. Someone is feeling. So kaleidoscope paradox. Kaleidoscope underscore paradox. Sounds like the name of a tin foiler. I think she has a mole in her life. Someone is feeding info to her ex. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I suspect that it's the sister. It's the sister just because of that line. And last but not least, Star Striker 3 says, honestly, who cares if he regrets it? It doesn't
Yeah.
make his actions right. And you are not obligated to forgive him or even hear him out, especially after he physically assaulted her in her workspace. I think she should file for a protective order, as you also mentioned, against him, especially if she's worried that he won't leave her alone until she talks to him. Hey, man, as you said, some people just want to be caught outside in their insides. And so sometimes you just need to be very mindful about these things. Guys, don't forget to know your opinion of this situation in the comments. As previously stated, we'll be mentioning some of the best comments in our next video. So if you got a hot take, let us know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more updates on different stories where we discuss trending topics and try to explore uncommon lessons from commonplace situations. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. And KR, with that being said, we can move to the next
Yes,
segment.
yes. The next segment, the second topic of today is Diddy. He's back again in the news cycle. Well, I'll tell you this much: the walls are closing in on him, with federal investigators now demanding evidence from a Miami hotel. With rumors are swirling about trafficking, drug abuse, and also other things that can implicate him into these crazy situations that can get him locked up. RJ, we're back at Diddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daddy doesn't mind um, the walls closing in on him as long as his boys are there with him. Guys,
Right.
thank you for what did you say?
Disguise. Where's my disguise?
Yeah. Come on, man. Before we start, remember to rate the show by pressing the like button, follow us on other socials, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit that notification icon as well. What can you tell me about Diddy? Did he do it or did
What
he not do it?
what I do know is I don't want no booty goons coming my way. So be careful, RJ.
If you keep Ray J out of your mouth, it's gonna be okay.
Okay. So for years, Diddy's been, well, Diddy's been Diddy. But things have taken a dangerous turn. He's now involved in multiple lawsuits. Prosecutors are now zeroing in on a Miami hotel situation where Diddy allegedly assaulted another ex, Daphne Joy. And they're asking for critical evidence dating back to 2008. Well, it's clear that the case is getting bigger and bigger, and I wonder whether he will maintain his innocence since he's been doing that since the beginning. RJ.
Yeah. You wonder whether he's been doing it since the beginning, is what you said?
No, I wonder if he will maintain his innocence. He's always been saying, I'm innocent. Will he keep saying this again here? Or does he know there is a video of him uppercutting a female like it's Street Fighter? Hadouken.
KR, I saw a video and I think you sent me it. Send it to me.
Oh my
Where
God.
a dude said, a politician said, I never. So he was he was being interviewed. And the reporter said, in so and so year, you said this and that. He said, and you're suing a third party because they're saying that you said it. He said, yes, they say, but I'm gonna sue them because I never said it.
Oh, that wasn't a politician. That was a CNBC reporter.
Oh, that was being asked. That was
Yes,
saying what?
yes, he said what he said. That was a CNBC reporter, and the guy who was asking the questions was a Trump lawyer, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
So there were two. So there were two reporters talking to each other then.
Is a lawyer a reporter?
So you have
You have the CNBC reporter
yeah.
who was interviewing the lawyer, and the lawyer came
Okay,
back
yeah.
with
So I thought you said the person he was interviewing was the reporter as well.
no,
So, but
no,
he's
no.
the lawyer. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah,
I thought it was
lawyer.
a politician. But point being is that he asked the lawyer. He said to the lawyer, "You are currently um, you filed a case or think I'm filing a case against so and so because he's saying that you said a couple of things." The lawyer said yes, and that was absolute lies. I never said it. The reporter said, okay, that's weird because on so and so date, you said this and that. And he said, no, I never said it. And if you keep pushing this narrative, I will, and insinuated he would sue him too. And then they show what he had said, and he said exactly, almost down to the construct of the sentence, exactly what both the third parties that he's suing and the reporter is saying that he said. So the attorney maintained his innocence. And if he can do it, Diddy will as well.
you went all the way around anyway, I think but I mean, we'll see, right? Because right now it seems like I'm not sure if this is the case they're trying to pursue. Again, this is an assault case. This is not a trafficking case. Or is FBI these days concerned with who is assaulting who rather than tackling trafficking situations? That's right now the question, because I'm not sure if this is the way they're going about, if they have enough proof for the other allegations. Maybe you can tell something more about that, RJ. Do you think this is the reason why they are looking into this situation rather than focusing on bigger things? And bigger things, I mean trafficking. Uh, uh, um, I'm not gonna want to use the rape. Oh, what did I say? The R word. I didn't want to. I don't want to use the R word, and then I say use the full word. Yeah, great, man, great. But yeah. Anyway, this is not good. That was not good, guys. But anyway, uh, so do you think is this proof that they might not have enough evidence, or they don't have a good case when it relates to these other allegations?
Um, could be. However, you also need to take into account that when you file, when you prosecute someone, you want to have the best possible case, right? So it could be that they have already proven certain things, but not other things. We also know that certain things are easier to prove than other things. So, for example, we have a video that's been made public of Diddy doing harm to Cassie.
Yes.
So that's like an open and shut case. You don't need more evidence, but maybe there are certain things that they don't have enough evidence for and they're still looking for it. So it can be that. Also, certain things, there are different types of crimes. And I'm not a criminal lawyer, but I did criminal law for a very short period of time, but the reasoning is very simple, right? So certain things you just need to determine it. You just need to see it to conclude it. So if someone is carrying an illegal firearm, you just need to see it. The person will need to show you that he has a permit to carry, and if he doesn't, then or permit to have it in his possession, and if he doesn't, then he's guilty. It would be it will be very difficult for him to get out of that, right? But there are certain crimes that require intent. And how are you going to prove intent? Unless the person admits by saying, I intended to do this or I intended to do that. I intended to take someone's life. It's going to be very difficult. But you still be able to prove it by trying to reconstruct the situation. For example, if you go to his house and you find like a plan, a blueprint to the victim's house, you find that the person bought certain things 3 days before, so equipment that he used on the day of the crime and so on, then you can more or less prove that there was intent. But intent is not always easy to prove. Now, if we're talking about the whole trafficking, if you're paying for someone to come over, it's a thin line. I'll say this: if you're paying an adult to fly over, to call it trafficking, you would need more than that. And so that's why I think it's not necessarily that they don't have enough evidence, but certain things are harder to prove. And so you always want to have a better legal position before when you go to court to get your convictions. Also, you don't want to have 32 counts and 5 convictions, right? You want to have as much convictions as possible. The judge won't take you seriously either if you're known to place 32 counts and only get convicted of 4, of which 2 are jaywalking. What are we talking about?
Yeah, that's the big problem we have right here, right? It feels like the legal issues are multiplying. The feds are involved with these subpoenas that are being issued. But still, I don't know. It's like there is no so far. I mean, FBI always works in the dark, and when they show up, they pop out on niggas. They're gonna pop out. So the question is, will they pop out, and when will they pop out? And maybe the reason why they haven't popped out yet is maybe they're still trying to build a solid case, and maybe this could be a distraction.
Can be, but it's just speculation at this point. At this
Yeah.
point,
I mean, that's the only thing we can do now, right? Because I mean, I mean, at this point, we don't have the only thing we know is that they are asking. They have the subpoenas for that Miami hotel where they are asking basically for a number of things, naming. They want to know the check-in dates, phone records, emails, computer IP addresses that stayed at the hotel, and all that other stuff. So, I mean,
yeah,
they
it's just
try
to make the
to.
case. Let's also
Yeah.
make the case better, right? Because if you're gonna accuse someone, let's say you have a footage and you want to prosecute me, and I'll say no, the statute of limitation has passed. You would need to prove when it happened. So it makes sense that you would look for additional information. And if you're gonna ask for some things, you ask for as much as possible. But you can see what happened, so you can see it on the camera, but you still need to specify it. And you still, I mean, if he says no, this it didn't happen this way, it didn't happen that way. You need to have your facts as complete as possible. Your evidence. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Do you think he'll get out of this?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I don't think so because it's right there, But um, at the same time, I think other things also play a role. And if she, for example, stayed with him afterwards, then how they would argue, yeah, it happened, it was a mistake, but and then he can get like a sentence, but how heavy would it be?
Hmm.
So it's I think yes, but I don't think it will be as severe. Had it happened during the time, so in the time that it took place, then I think it would have been worse. But if Jonathan Mayer got sentenced, then I think he will too.
Difference is Jonathan was messing with a pink toe. And this is not pink toe business. Well, there was a pink toe that showed up and said
Yeah.
a couple of things. But hey, man, guys, we want to hear from you. What do you think about this whole situation? Is this federal investigation the nail in the coffin of Diddy's career? Is this specific subpoena about the Miami hotel? Was this on?
I don't
Wasn't,
know.
right?
I don't
Well,
think so. No.
well, KB, you know what to do.
Maybe.
But yeah, where was I? Is this the nail in this coffin? Is this specific case? Is it gonna amount up to something, or is it just a distraction? Let us know in the comments. Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
Yes. Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more updates on different stories where we discuss trending topics and try to explore uncommon lessons from commonplace situation. Thanks for watching, and let's keep the conversation going in the comments. And as previously stated, we'll be highlighting some of the best comments in our next video. So if you have a hot take, don't forget to let us know.
Yes, yes. Hey, let's close today's show with the usual short thoughts where we discuss commonplace situations and trending topics, and we give short responses to these situations. Let's start the bonanza. Pastor swindled 3.5 million in Uncle Vit relief and is sentenced for 18 months. So I'm gonna read the article real quick. Let me see, where is that article? A pastor who swindled 3.5 million in Uncle Vit relief money to fund his lavish lifestyle has been sentenced to 18 months in prison. Rudolph, 48 years old, pleaded guilty to wire fraud and money laundering last week after he exploited the pandemic era PPP loan. Brooks was arrested in 2021 for this is just 1 year after the Uncle Vit for fraudulent obtaining of the PPP loan after submitting falsified documents for businesses under his control. He secured 3.5 million, and after inflating employee numbers and payroll expenses on his loan application, he then used the funds on personal expenses, including a 2018 Tesla Model 3, property in the affluent Maryland town, and a lavish spending at restaurant, grocery stores, and other retailers. Brooks, founder and senior pastor at the Kingdom Tabernacle of Restoration Church, was also ordered to forfeit $2 million, the Tesla and real estate he purchased with the fraudulent obtained funds. Court records from this sentencing also revealed that the fraud was not tied to Brooks' position at the church. RJ, another pastor bites the dust. It seems like the only thing they're biting on is dust or a pillow. Continue.
So is the pastors, right? And the question is, how do you choose your pastors? If someone tells you that he's a pastor, will you automatically believe everything that person says? A lot of people do. So by saying pastor, people put themselves below the pastor, sometimes literally. But they think, oh, this person is a pastor, so he's a holy man, so I am less than him. Automatically. Right? So I think that it's very common that this is happening, but you will still find yourself having discussions with people because they think when you say something about a pastor, you say something about God.
Religion.
God and the pastor. Yeah, when we say something about a pastor or religion, we're talking about two separate things. They have nothing to do with one another.
Actually, three separate things.
Yeah, do tell.
You have God, religion, and the pastor. Those are three separate things.
That's true. That is true. Yeah. And so, but how can I get power, KaiR? What's power? How do people try to get power? That's why pastors. So just to be clear, I'm not saying all pastors are thieves and crooks, but I'm saying why. How do people get power in other people's eyes? I'll tell you how. Okay, I'll tell you. You can get a Maserati. I know you wanted Maserati since you were a young boy, and you worked very hard, and I'm gonna give you a Maserati.
Yeah, shows you.
But only I can. But only I can give you the Maserati, and through me, you'll get the Maserati. Now I'm important because I am the person that can put you in a position to get the Maserati, and so that's what people do. That's what a pastor is as well. You want to go to heaven? I can help you get to heaven. So automatically, I become more important because now you believe that in order to get to heaven, you need me. And a lot of people fall for it, and fall for it seems like it's like a trick or a like a scheme. It's not always a scheme because I do think that there are good pastors for sure. But I'm saying not so they don't fall for it like that, but they let themselves forget that at the end of the day, the relation is between God and them. And so it's good to have, and the pastor is just like someone that's there that can help you, but you don't need a pastor to get to God.
Facilitator. He's a
He's a
facilitator.
he should be a facilitator, but and it's okay to move and go to another church as well. If you feel like you don't have anything to learn from this church, or if you feel like you don't have anything to donate to the church, it's good to move somewhere else. Go to a church, they say, oh, you do this? Oh, you're a handyman? Good that we need a handyman in our team. You find yourself working 16 hours a week for free. They're
For
not
God.
even,
It's not for free, it's for God.
yeah. So watch out, guys. Watch out. You need, yeah. Nah, I'm telling you what you need. Just watch out. Just that's it.
Yes, I do agree with you on that. I think you have to be very careful who you trust. And that also goes for pastors. As they say themselves, we are all human after all. And pastors seems to be always involved, not all of them, like you said, a lot of them, a couple of them seem to be involved in, let's say, shameful business. They also say a lot of pastors have their roots into pimping, but okay, maybe that's something another day we have to dive deeper into. Let us know in the comments what you think. Should we dive deeper into the links between pastors and pimps, or rappers and pimps, or rappers and pastors? Let us know in the comments. Beware, be vigilant. And if your pastor steals, go to the cops. And he'll end like the bling bling pastor who got sentenced a couple of months ago. Good. Anything else, RJ? Nothing else? Then I'll go to the second one. I guess he's quiet, so it means that there's
Nah,
nothing
so
else.
I said nothing else. I was on mute. My bad.
Okay, let's go to Gavin Newsom and his 150,000 loan bill that they were trying to get. Well, not him, but the House tried to get through agreement of the governor. Apparently, Gavin vetoed the bill, RJ. So that
Yeah.
bill is sent to the gulag. So I guess
wa-
after all, the migrants won't get 150,000. The fact they put this in a bill, this is crazy. A migrant, let's call it, it's not even migrants. These are people that are undocumented, technically speaking, and in layman's terms, illegals that could get loans for 150,000 to buy a house, or maybe front some money for the bricks that come in from the south. Who knows what they were going to use the money for? One thing we do know is that certain cities have a lot of problems with a particular migrant. It seems to be dabbling in a lot of criminal activities. So imagine if they get a loan, what they can do with their money. RJ, Gavin has vetoed that bill.
It had to happen, man. I mean,
Would have been crazy. The weekend before, they also closed out. They actually, if I think about it, let me see. Yeah, so California had a couple of bills going through this last week. They also stopped the reparations
Reparation.
bill. So that would have been crazy that they would stop the reparations bill and this got through. But
Yeah, they had to stop everything. Now, my question is, KR, do you think they would have stopped the illegal bill, if there wasn't a black bill, a reparation bill? Because that was what one of the main arguments, right? They were saying, hey, we've been asked for reparations for all these years. You're not giving it to us. And then we need to hear from other states as well that they're giving all sorts of benefits to illegals. In New York, you get so illegals. I'm not talking about immigrants. So illegal immigrants who come in. So people who come in illegally, they get housing, and some people can even get money to buy things and live in hotels. And
yeah,
you're gonna put in our state. You want to come with a bill of 150K. That's a max
yeah,
for illegals, while we are still asking for reparations, and so the bill was denied. I don't believe in reparations. I think anytime you put your faith in another person's hands, you are basically yeah. I don't want to use the word slave, but you're saying I need you to be better or happy. Well, I don't need you to give me anything. Anything. I need you to get out of my way, right? So don't. I want to work hard to get my money. Don't stand in the way. But some people say I don't want to work hard. Just give me my money. And yeah, it's just noteworthy to see all these things
I
happen.
think the way you receive the reparations is very important. The way you receive it. If you're receiving it while the foot is still on your neck, that
What's
means
the
that
point?
you're dependent.
Yeah.
The other
If they
way
get
is some other people, and I'm gonna play that. I'm not gonna play the audio. They get the reparations while their foot are on other people's necks. It's very different. People have to get that also into account. But yeah, I do agree with you on that. You have to be very careful when it comes to free meals. Something that I've learned on an early age, not through experience, but to reading and seeing. The free food is always the way people get manipulated in everything. So
yeah.
I think at the end of the day, I'm quite surprised that they veto it. At the same time, I understand why they veto it. This is all political play. By doing this, Gavin also this is a win-win situation for Gavin. If he had got it through, he might have gotten some extra votes in the future election. Now, by vetoing it, he seems like a moderate when it comes to these issues. And we all know that he's gonna try to do he will try to get elected in 2028. So this is just he basically started his campaign this way, I
Yeah.
think. So time will tell if what else that will be tried in the meanwhile between now and 2024. But one thing is something we cannot forget. There are other cities that are giving out loans, 30,000. These are for people that are undocumented, illegals, and people that are well, by the way, let me go back. People that are illegal and haven't spent a dime on taxes, because that's the important thing right here. This is why all over the world, since forever, since the dawn of time, people haven't given any money to illegals because they haven't added anything to the box, the treasury. How can you spend on someone that hasn't contributed anything yet? It's just
That's a
crazy.
that's
Yeah.
what a lot of women say when they go on dates. Like, if you don't put money, how can you expect? If you put what did you say? Money in the box? You didn't. Right? I'm not saying they're saying that exact. I guess all I'm
Don't
saying is
put
KR.
money.
I understand entirely what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's another talk. I can people go on dates and expect both are anyway. You're right with regards to the box thing.
Yeah.
With all that being said, all I'll say is this: again, stay vigilant. If if your state is choosing to give out money like they are Santa Claus, guess what? You or your friends or your family or anyone who's living in that state voted for it.
Yeah.
Thank yourself, thank your friends, and keep living. And don't complain because, hey, you're also part of that process.
Yeah. You are.
Good luck, because luck is all you will need to get out of this bind.
Yes. Yes.
That's it
Yes.
for me today.
Okay, that's it. I have nothing else to add. That was a hell of a closing. If you made it this far, thanks for watching and listening. We really appreciate you supporting our platform. Whatever your thoughts are, please let us know in the comments below. Remember to rate the show by pressing the like button, follow us on our other socials, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification icon. Let's have a healthy conversation in the comments, and the best comments, the hot takes, will get highlighted in the next show. We'll see each other in the next one. Till next time.
Peace.
Peace. Paz.
Hasta luego.
Paz. Paz.
Paz.
500 $500.
Vamos a Colorado. Oh. Vamos a Colorado.
150. 150, I guess.
Oh,
Anyways.
man.